I never thought I'd end up in a hospital on vacation. But there I was, lying in an ER bed, the cold, sterile smell of disinfectant stinging my nostrils. My leg was throbbing and my head was spinning. It all started on the slopes, a beautiful, snowy day in the mountains. I had been skiing for years, so I felt confident, maybe even a little too confident. But, as it always happens when you're feeling invincible, I lost my footing. 1 second, I was gliding down the mountain, the wind in my face. The next, I was tumbling, unable to stop myself. I hit the snow hard, and that's when I felt it. Pain. Sharp, intense pain shooting through my leg. It felt like something snapped. I tried to stay calm, but my heart was racing and I could barely breathe. The ski patrol got to me quickly, but I couldn't shake the feeling that this was bad. Real bad. They gave me a ride down the mountain, and all I could think about was how I was going to pay for whatever was coming next. I mean, healthcare on vacation? That's gotta be expensive, right? I started to panic. It wasn't just about the leg, it was the cost, the stress of figuring out how to get treatment while I was away from home. What if I didn't have the right insurance? What if I couldn't afford it? What if I was stuck with a huge bill for something that was completely out of my control? The thing is, I was lucky. And it wasn't luck in the way you might think. I had travel insurance. Before my trip, I'd done the usual thing, booked my flights, grabbed the ski passes, packed my bags, and then I added travel insurance to my cart, mostly as an afterthought. At the time, it seemed like a smart, safe decision, but honestly, I didn't expect to use it. The whole what-if scenarios felt distant, not something I'd actually have to face. But there I was, broken leg, emergency room, terrified of what I was about to face financially. I called the travel insurance provider from the hospital bed, trying to keep it together. And to my surprise, the process was smooth. They listened, asked the right questions, and made sure I got the care I needed. They guided me through everything from the hospital bills to arranging for care back home. Within hours, I realized the weight on my shoulders was slowly lifting. I didn't have to worry about paying for an emergency room visit that was probably going to cost thousands. I didn't have to stress about what would happen to my recovery. And I didn't have to wonder how I was going to get home after all of this. Instead, I focused on getting better. I was able to rest, follow the treatment plan, and lean on the help I was getting from professionals who actually cared. It wasn't just about medical care, it was about peace of mind. That feeling of relief was worth so much more than the few extra dollars I spent on that travel insurance policy. Now I get it. Travel insurance isn't something we usually think about, especially when we're booking trips full of excitement and wanderlust. But accidents happen, injuries happen, and when they do, having insurance that takes care of the details can mean the difference between chaos and calm. If there's one thing I learned, it's that I'll never travel without it again. And trust me, you don't want to learn this lesson the hard way. So here's my tip. If you're planning any trip, especially one with an active adventure, don't skip the travel insurance. And just to be transparent, the company I used was Auras.insure. Now, I'm not trying to sell you anything, but this wasn't just some random provider I picked out. They made everything so easy when I was in that hospital bed, and I've been using them for every trip since. I never thought I'd need travel insurance, but I'm so glad I had it when I did. And honestly, I can't recommend it enough. So, if you're traveling soon, whether for a ski trip or any other adventure, think about getting travel insurance. It could be the best decision you ever make.